show today, and I'm talking today about starting your health self-experiment with fermented foods. Now, here's the deal. It's easy to write it out, like we talked about yesterday. It's easy to write it out, but it's really hard to start it. And I'm going to tell you a little story about that. Basically, what happened was one of my clients really didn't do very well as far as starting it. So I was wondering about her, and I was, it was like, okay, we went through this whole process, spent a lot of money doing this, and basically I didn't hear from her. So I finally got a hold of her, and she said, well, the whole thing was overwhelming to me. She was doing a food sensitivity test and basically was really having a hard time with it. And I basically said, okay, well, let's back up and deal with this, because we can back up and start small. So food sensitivity testing, when you get the results, it can be incredibly overwhelming for some people. So what we backed up to was just starting with gluten-free. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I do the health self-experiments, because we're looking at one thing that we could change, which is starting fermented foods. So anyway, so that's a good thing. So how do you start it? I mean, if you wrote out your health self-experiment, here's the form that you can get on my website, www.healyourhealthnow.com /finishing your health self-experiment, or just go to my website, www.healyourhealthnow.com, and scroll down to the blog on the homepage, and the first article, Experiment Your Way to Health, gives you all of these links. So just, go there. Anyway, so once you do that, once you get an experiment up, what is your wellness goal? What is your heart reason? What is your always, which, to me is just eat a fermented food every day. What is your never not do that? And what is your sometimes eat another fermented food instead of that fermented food. So anyway, and tracking your success would be logging it. I log my things in my day planner, and I just put a hatch. Okay, so I would put FF from fermented foods and put a line over it. Okay, so first of all, the way you start this is you have to buy stuff. You have to buy stuff. Right? So if you want to buy fermented foods like yogurt or kefir or those kind of things, then go out and buy them. You can get them in Whole Foods. You can get them in a lot of grocery stores now. Just go out and buy them. Decide which one you want to start with, and then go out and buy it, like yogurt. It's a good one. Or kombucha, or sauerkraut, or whatever, or pickles, or whatever, right? Tara Bryan says a forkful a day is all you need. And I always say a forkful a day keeps disease away. So you want to do that. Okay. You want to start there. And then, you figure out when you're going to do it. I mean, are you going to do it for a meal? Are you going to do it like for a night snack? Are you going to do it for between meal? When are you going to do that? Right? Then pick a start date and do it. All right. And then you want to log it. You want to, however you want to assess it in your day planner, whether you've done it that way, just log it. Right. I would put FF and then put a line through it. So that's it. So you want to go out and buy it. Now, I'm going to be doing a lot of fermented foods on my website. I will tell you more about that next week. But I'm going to start a whole series of fermented foods, because I'm not only making coconut water kefir, which I shared with you early in the week, I'm also doing um, fermented vegetables and other things. And I'll share more of that as we go. So buy it. Don't start making it yet. It's too overwhelming. Figure out when you're gonna do it during your day, what works best for you. Pick a start date and then log it. All right. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. I know it's Saturday, but I'll talk to you tomorrow about a little more about health self experiments. A Dietitian Jill signing off.